You ever see a huge, successful company and just think, why? Why would they risk it all on one massive, kind of crazy bet? It's like a corporate tightrope walk, right? Billions of dollars are just balancing on this tiny wire. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, that high-stakes gamble.
Okay, so here's what we've got on tap. First, we'll break down what a high-risk strategy actually is. Then, we're going to look at the dark side. We're talking manipulation. After that, we'll get to the fun stuff, the huge payoffs and success stories. We'll check out gambles across different industries, and then wrap up by looking at how the smart companies pull this off without, completely crashing and burning. All right, let's cut right to it. Why in the world would a company that's already crushing it decide to just roll the dice and risk losing it all? It just doesn't seem to make sense, does it? I mean, that's the real question here, isn't it? Are they doing it for growth? Are they doing it to survive? Or is it just raw, unfiltered ambition? The answer, as you'll see, is, well, it's a bit of all three. And it's at the heart of some of the most epic business stories we've ever seen. So, a high-risk business strategy. Think of it like a double-edged sword. It's really a tool for making big, fast changes. It's the difference between cruising along and just slamming your foot on the accelerator. It can shoot you forward at like light speed, or it can cause a massive, fiery crash.
And you'll see these kinds of gambles everywhere, in all shapes and sizes. You've got financial ones, tech ones, you name it. But we're going to start with one of the most dangerous, and honestly one of the most ethically questionable strategies out there, using manipulation and even threats to get what you want.
Okay, so this is where we get into the really dark side of corporate strategy. You see, there's a very, very fine line between motivating people and straight up manipulating them. And when a company crosses that line, well, the consequences can be absolutely devastating.
And you can really see the difference here. Look, motivation, that's all about truth and transparency. It's about getting people genuinely excited and on board. Manipulation, that's the complete opposite. It's all about deception, about hiding the bad stuff, and basically tricking people into compliance. Sure, it might work for a little while, but in the long run, it just poisons everything.
And this really gets at the long-term cost. I love this quote from Zig Ziglar. Manipulation self-destructs the individual doing the manipulating. It's so true. It's like hitting a self-destruct button. Because once word gets out that you're a manipulator, you lose the single most important thing you have in business, and that's trust. And the fallout from that? It's totally predictable, and it's always ugly. I mean, think about it. People who feel like they've been tricked, they don't stick around. Morale just hits rock bottom, your best people are the first ones out the door, and you could even land yourself in some serious legal trouble. It's a strategy that basically eats itself from the inside out. It's a guaranteed bad bet every single time.
Okay, so that's the dark side. But what about when the bet isn't built on lies? What happens when it's transparent, when it's just incredibly bold and audacious? Well, that's when things get really interesting. Because when a high-stakes gamble actually works, it can change the entire game. So let's flip the script and talk about the incredible payoffs.
I mean, just look at these absolute legends of corporate risk-taking. You've got Domino's, which took the insane risk of telling the entire world, hey, our pizza sucks. And it totally worked. Then there's Uber, just barreling into cities, completely ignoring the rules, and becoming this global giant. Dove literally turned the whole beauty industry upside down. And Meta, they dropped billions on apps like Instagram that weren't making a dime at the time. Every single one of these was a huge bet the farm kind of move, and they all paid off, big time.
And then you have Netflix. Oh man, Netflix. This wasn't just one gamble for them. It was a whole series of bet the company moments. Think about it. First, they killed their own golden goose, the super profitable DVD by mail business, to go all in on streaming. Wall Street hated it. It was expensive, it was unproven, and they were basically destroying their own business model. And then, as if that wasn't enough, they decided, hey, let's become a Hollywood studio, and started spending billions to compete with companies that have been doing this for 100 years. Either one of those steps could have been a total disaster, but instead, it built an empire.
And the gambles don't stop with just branding or business models. Let's do a quick run-through of some of the other high-wire acts you see in the corporate world all the time. So first you've got financial risk. Picture this. You go borrow a mountain of cash at a really high interest rate to pay for a massive expansion. If that expansion takes off, you look like a genius. But if it fails, that debt can absolutely crush your company. That's what they call high-leverage financing, and it's a huge gamble.
And of course, today, there's massive tech risk. Every company is scrambling to adopt AI, right? But if you jump in too fast, without thinking it through, without the right safeguards, it can be a total disaster. We're talking about a chatbot giving out terrible, maybe even dangerous advice, or an AI for hiring that turns out to be incredibly biased. It's a huge bet on technology that's still pretty new. And sometimes the gamble is just about survival. You look at these older legacy companies like Walmart. They're spending absolute fortunes trying to reinvent themselves for the digital age. Why? Because they're trying to compete with digital natives like Amazon. It's a massive, high-stakes bet just to stay relevant and not get left behind.
You know, for some industries, taking these huge risks isn't even a choice. It's just the price of admission. Take the pharmaceutical industry. They'll spend hundreds of millions of dollars to develop just one drug, knowing full well that most of them are going to fail. Their entire business model is basically built on this idea of high risk, high reward.
Okay, so with all these crazy risks out there, you have to wonder, how do the smart companies take these big swings without just completely striking out? Well, the secret is, it's not about being reckless. It's all about being prepared.
And here's the key thing to get. You can't eliminate risk. It's impossible, especially if you're trying to do something new and innovative. But you absolutely can manage it, and you should. That's the difference. Successful risk-taking isn't about blind luck. It's about smart, intelligent management.
And these strategies usually boil down to three main approaches. First, there's mitigation. That's all about lessening the blow. You might partner with another company to share the costs, or you can use something called rolling reserves, which is just a fancy way of saying you're stashing away some cash as a safety net. Then you have transfer. This one's easy. You pay someone else to take on the risk for you. That's basically what insurance is. And finally, sometimes you have to choose acceptance. That's when you see a risk, you know it's there, but you decide that the cost of trying to fix it is actually bigger than the risk itself. So, that brings us right back to where we started. When a company makes one of these enormous bets, what is it? Is it just a reckless gamble that's bound to fail? Or is it a bold, maybe even necessary vision for the future? As we've seen today, the answer isn't simple. It lies on that razor-thin edge between total disaster and complete and utter dominance.